What's up, guys? What's up, guys? What's up, guys? Coaching for the Soul, Thursdays at 3 has begun. If you're watching this live, what's up? If you want this on my Bill Hobart Facebook page, what's up? If you're watching this on the YouTube channel, subscribe to the channel, like the videos, leave a little comment, like 7 emojis or whatever, seven words long. It's supposed to help the algorithms, but I hope it does. So if you guys would do that for me, I would appreciate it. So we'll see who pops on and how long we're going to go today. I'm not sure. Don't know what we're going to talk about, but it's going to be something. So, hi, Allison. How's it going? Yes. You comes on. It is a beautiful day in Detroit. It is about 75 degrees, and there is no humidity, and it is fabulous. Going to be really hot next week. So when we do the show next week, it'll be like 99 degrees and humid. So it's going to be a baker. Going to be a baker next week, so we'll be in the house with the air conditioning on. Yeah, so, but we'll see who pops on either one of the, hi Nancy, either one of the pages. Yes. Yep, so, yeah, there's a lot of astrology stuff we're going to talk about. A lot of stuff is changing for us starseeds. It's a good thing. A lot of energy shifts, positive energy shifts, yeah. So that's a good thing. Good thing for all of us, right? And leaving the last 6 months behind, brand new 6 months ahead, okay? As we see lots of things changing. Yeah, so, hi Sherry. Have hit communication. Okay, what? So Sherry's saying, hi Bill, apartment fixes have hit a communication and more snag, standing my ground for corrective fixes. Good for you. Hi, Lisa. Good for you, Sherry. Yep, good for you. I'm surprised. I'm very surprised. But it's Mercury retrograde, starts on the 29th. So right now is a cluster F, you know what I mean? Yep. It is in, it's in the sign of, gosh, I don't even know where it's at. I don't remember where it's at. Mercury retrograde's in Cancer. Yeah, it's in Cancer. So, my opposite sign, right? So, I know that all the Earth signs are going to feel this Mercury retrograde big time. I think it's going to be for the better. I hope it's for the better. But so we'll see what happens. Yeah. Lots of new adjustments to a lot of things. Yeah. There you go, Sherry. Yeah. Again, Mercury retrograde is going to put everything on the back burner until the 26th of next month. So it's going to be a 3.5 week, just like always. Just the month of July is going to be kind of rough for some people. If you don't know what it is, excuse it as being, you don't get it all internalized, right? Just get it all, hey, Robin. Don't get it all internalized and things like that, that things are going wrong, they're against you, stuff like that, because that's not true. But Mercury has to do with communication, everything, emails, texts, even phone calls not going through, faxes, if you still have to do fax stuff, yeah. And if you're going to have a conversation, don't do it on a text. Do it in person or on the phone, because all your energy is going to be misconstrued. It's going to be misconstrued. Hey, Alexis, what's going on? Yeah. So this is going to be I believe it's going to be a rough one. But I mean, that's what I've been told. That's what I've read. But because Cancer is the opposite of Capricorn. Capricorn's the government. Capricorn is structure. It's Saturn. Okay. So with pressure on that, more propaganda, more things that don't make sense. Spirit says they'll pull out every trick out of the hat that they possibly can. Okay, and because it's in Cancer, it's about love, major love, and understanding what you deserve in love and what you do not deserve in love, and how is that going to work for you? Yeah, So it's I made some decisions this week. That's like, okay, these people haven't changed at all. And they're the same person they were before, and so I'm not going to invest much in them at all. Yeah, I'm not going to do much with them at all. Just because it doesn't work, just because it's not worth the aggravation. It's a lot of aggravation. Yeah, You know, people that are in your life, and if they don't change with the energy, if they don't change and work on themselves and stuff like that, it makes it hard for somebody who has been doing that and who is at a higher vibration to really be around them or text them or talk to them on the phone or anything like that. It makes it very difficult. Makes it very difficult. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, so it's 5 after. Okay, so we're gonna get started. Let's talk about July 1st with the strength of the month with the planets. Okay, so Pluto is in Aquarius for the next 18 years, I think, maybe 17 years, at 4 degrees. Okay, so it's at the beginning of his journey through Aquarius, and that includes, hey Shelly, that includes retrogrades in that 17 and a half years. Okay, Neptune in Aries, 4 degrees. Okay, Saturn in Aries, 12 degrees. Uranus in Gemini, 4 degrees. So there are these outer planets, right, that take much, much longer time to go around the sun, to hit every single zodiac sign. Pluto is between 15 and 20 years. It's in a zodiac sign. I know for Capricorn, it was in there for 20 years. For hey Bryn, for hey Carol, for Aquarius, where it's at now, it's 18 years. Okay, Neptune, I believe, has a 167-year orbit around the planet, so it's in zodiac signs for a pretty long period of time. Pluto is double that, right? It's like 300 years or more. Saturn, again, 2.5 years. Okay, Jupiter's 1 year, 1.5 years. Uranus is, I believe, 78 years. Yeah, I believe it's 78 years until it returns to that zodiac sign where it's at today. Now, Uranus and Neptune and Pluto are all at 4 degrees. Pluto rips it up and tears it up and destroys it. I don't care how I destroy it. Neptune is dreams and fog, and it's in Aries. So the cool thing about that is that it what does the sun do? What does the sun or fire do to the mist? It burns off the fog. So that will be important to us. It's got another, I don't know how many years it's got. Uranus has, gosh, it's an 8-year cycle, I believe. I think that's what it is, an 8-year cycle. Then you have Chiron, who is the wounded healer that is in Cancer for the next 8 years. And Cancer. Wait, hang on. No, it came out of Aries and it's going into Taurus. It's in Taurus now. Okay, Taurus is an Earth sign. Okay, hey Kathy. So Chiron, the wounded healer brings all of your emotions to the surface, right? Anything that's hidden. Mercury retrograde doubles that by 10. Okay, so there's gonna be a lot of people that are feeling like, oh my God, it's so heavy. I don't know what to do about it. I don't get it. I didn't feel this before. It's going to react to that. And Chiron in Taurus is 7.5 years long. So all of these planets that have just changed signs, right? That are at 4 degrees or 12 degrees. I'm not sure what. I think Chiron's like 0 degrees or 1. It just went into Taurus, and Taurus is Earth, right? So it's going to make it easier to remove your stuff, especially you're an Earth sign. So July's beginning with new energy being ushered in for the next 15 to 20 years. And that has everything to do with those planets right there. But it's positive energy. It's a positive energy shift, right? Because when things shift into the next zodiac sign and as an outer planet, it takes a while for it to rev itself up. But change is instantaneous. You feel the energy shift, okay? You feel, and you should know where each of these planets are in your zodiac sign, in your birth chart, okay? Because then you can track it. I'm telling you, wherever Mercury retrograde, wherever it's at in your, or I should say, wherever Cancer is in your birth chart, if you have any planets in there, Mercury, whatever, you can see how that area of your life is going to be affected. And it's very, very cool. Because then when it happens to you, you can go, oh, that's what that is. I need to learn from that. Because that's the key. All retrogrades is either a learning process or a relaxed process. When Saturn is in retrograde, it's like the rules have been relaxed and it's easier and the boundaries are gone. So it's much easier for a person like myself who's a Capricorn Aquarius, because Saturn had rules of both of those zodiac signs until Uranus came around and kicked Saturn just on Capricorn and took over Aquarius. So you have that. But it really makes a difference on if you know where they're at in your birth chart, you can actually know what's coming for the next 3.5 weeks. And that's what's so important. Okay. Again, outer planets move slowly. So it takes them years to go through a zodiac sign. There's a reason for that, because that planet is either rip it up and destroy it, right? And you can start anew, you can start fresh. It can be like with Neptune being foggy and dreamy, but once it gets in, again, it's at 4 degrees of Aries. Once it gets into that 15, 16 degree spot, the fire burns that off. All of a sudden you go, whoa, this is what has happened. And that's going to take years to get there. See? So the future's bright. But the more that you know about your birth chart and where those planets are, it will save you a lot of BS. It'll save you a lot of stress, a lot of ego not giving you stuff. Hey, Marcia, to deal with, to try to understand. And most people don't. They don't go to their birth chart. I go to my birth chart because that's the easiest thing that I can do is look where that's at. Or I use ChatGPT, and I'll tell you what, that's fascinating. I don't know if anybody's done that or not. Did something like asked a question. What is this Mercury retrograde in Cancer going to do for a Capricorn Aquarius? A Capricorn sun and an Aquarius rising sign. It will tell you, and it's brilliant. It's brilliant. Because it's something that you'd have to find on the internet. Now you don't have to. Can you check GPT? Yeah, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Okay? So, get your birth chart, pamgregor.com if you don't have it already. Okay? Because I tell you, it will change your life, guys. It will change your life once you know. And then you get all the definitions of planets and what houses, and you can kind of go, okay, it's a general, right? But you can pick out things that, yeah, I'm like that. Yeah, I'm like that too. Yeah, I'm like that too. As you go down and read all about who you are on the surface level, by where your planets are at when you're born. Yeah. Very, very, very cool. Because, again, knowledge is power. And you can calm yourself down by going, no. Remember when we looked at our birth chart, ego, no, or again, little me, little Billy, or your little person inside, whoever you want to direct that to, that's upset because it doesn't like the energy. It doesn't like the energy. It's fear, basically. You know, it's fear from childhood. It's fear from our teenage years. It's fear from everything. You know, yeah. Alexa says ChatGPT will also make your birth chart. I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, I should do that too, just to see what it looks like. Again, if it's the same, you know. Yeah. So anyway, okay. Spirit wants to talk about some other things, and I'm way up there. My ears are ringing really loud. Okay. I don't know what we're going to talk about. There's a bunch of things that we had talked about, that we thought about, but I didn't write anything down. I guess because I wasn't supposed to, I guess. Okay. Remind them of basics, okay? So that's what we're going to do. First, you got to talk aloud to your spirit guides. Again, I just talked to a young woman who lives in California, and she started talking out loud to her guides, and she just got this. She went in for one job, and they gave her 2 jobs higher at this place. And she was amazed at it. She'd been talking and talking what she wanted, what she wanted, what she wanted, what she wanted. And when it came through, she's like, oh my God, I got to call Bill. Tell him this, because it truly works, guys. It truly, truly, truly works. Okay, it truly works. But we're going to stop that for a minute, and we got to talk about this for a minute, I guess. Okay, so Mercury retrograde in Cancer is going to bring up all of your love situations, and is going to revisit the love situations in your life and see what no longer serves you. Okay, it's there for a reason. And this Capricorn's feeling that, because I'm going through. I only have just a couple close friends. Hey, Julie, I only have a couple close friends, and it's being reinforced that they're really not supposed. They're supposed to be there, not be here. I will say this: they're front porch friends. They're not living room friends. Okay, I love them to death, but I don't want to. Yeah, they're not living room friends where they would actually stay overnight. Right? They're front porch friends, where I would see them for an hour and a half, 2 hours, once or twice a month, and everything is golden or good. Now, also, there's going to be, so there's going to be things about people realizing that they are not compatible any longer, okay? That that there's going to be a lot of people who are like separating, hey, Diane, that are separating, or they're just straight out divorcing, because we're reaching a level of energy anxiety, Spirit says, in some people that are now no longer going to put up with or deal with, because they don't have to anymore. The energy right now and in the future is very freeing, especially for the next 6 months. Okay, and so if that comes up, you need to look at that. You can no longer bury it. They're not going to let you bury it. Your people are not going to let you bury it. So understanding that the Mercury retrograde in Cancer is really, really making communication more intense. It is making it more easier to F it up, right? Or for you to get your feelings hurt, or the other person to get your feelings hurt. Okay, so you'll have to decide which way you want to go. After the end of July, the planets that I talked about at the beginning of the show, they haven't moved much in a month. These are long-term years in a zodiac sign, okay? And so, again, what's your birth chart? Again, ChatGPT. What does it mean? And it'll tell you, which fascinates me. But this all comes down to paring your love down, so that you no longer feel like you have to, okay? And that can be family, that can be friends, that can be husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, whoever, okay? And it's going to trigger you, Spirit says. It's going to trigger you into a place where you're like, okay, I've been with this person for X amount of years. We have kids, they're all grown, whatever. And I can't do that. I need more from this. But I never really spoke up and said anything, because it was easier not to, because, well, now it's not easy to keep your mouth shut anymore. That's going to come up and need to be spoken, okay? And standing up for yourself and actually proclaiming what you deserve. I deserve this, and this, okay? And if that person can't give it to you because you've never spoken up after 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? Or 3 years or 4 years, right? It doesn't really matter. That you never really said anything about anything. You never really told them what you needed. And this goes on to everything in your life, okay? If you're not standing up for what you want, not what you need, what you want, and can proclaim it, believing that you deserve it, you're not going to get it. Not going to get it. They, meaning your guides, are going to push you in with these placements right here I just talked about, with Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, and Uranus, and Chiron. They're going to pressure you into speaking your truth, because you have to. okay? It's going to be like a bundle of energy, bundle of stuff in your gut, like your solar plexus, but also in your heart chakra, okay? That you have to proclaim what you want to them, chimes, to that other person, to people in your life who can help you attain it, which I'm not one to have other people help me attain anything, because they're not going to do it as well as I'm going to do it. And I want them to know, which they already do, because they've been with me for lifetimes, that I'm going to get what I want eventually. It's just the fact of what do I need to do to get it, as a Capricorn, as an Aquarius, okay? That drive and understanding that that you can have your foot off the accelerator for a little bit of time and understand that's where you're at. But as soon as you feel the energy of push, that's when you'll push. Truly, you will push. You will absolutely just change like that. Like that, yeah. That's happened to me. It's like all of a sudden, it's like, okay, awesome. This is what's going on inside of my body, inside of my energy. It's like, okay, it's right there, and it's good, and I'm ready. I'm all cleaned out. It's all good. I just have to doom, and take care of that business. Okay. You will feel the same way about friends, family, husbands, wives, girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever. You're going to feel the need to either forgive them or confront them, right? Do it after Mercury retrograde, so it doesn't become a cluster F, right? And many of you, Spirit says, will put that on the back burner. Put that on the back burner when you won't be able to. Because it's going to come right up into your heart, into your solar plexus, and it's going to sit there and burn. Because you have to get that energy and that that denial for self that you have to recognize. You have to see it. You got to speak it. You have to, and let the chips fly. See what it's gonna do. In as calm a way as you can possibly do it. That's what it's about, going forward into the month of July and August, mostly in the month of July, because of all the other aspects in the universe that are happening to intensify everything. And Mercury retrograde is one of those things. Yeah, it's one of those things. So that's one of that's one of the acts that are going to challenge us, Spirit says. It's going to challenge us. It's going to challenge us to speak up for ourselves. It's going to challenge us to wonder why, to investigate, to allow. I'm back to doing guided meditations because the feelings that I've had over the past week and a half have all been third dimensional energy, right? And it's been this exact thing that I'm talking about. It's the energy of Mercury retrograde in Cancer that I'm feeling, and come on. And making that energy go away, dissipating the energy that's in my heart, that's in my solar plexus. See, and this is what it's a good thing to purge, right? It's just interesting that it's happening now, but it really totally makes a difference. It makes a difference. It makes a difference, right? So Carol's saying, Archangel Shemuel came to her this week to help me with my relationship. There you go. Help her with a relationship. That's awesome. He was in one of my guided meditations with Steve Nobel. Yeah. And Bryn says, everyone smile for yourself. They smile too there because we never know what others are going through. True. Very, very, very true. But that smile has to be genuine and has to come from you. Has to come from you realizing that you don't know what other people are going through, but you're the most important person in your life. I'll just say that. And more people, hey Vincent, what's up? And more people are realizing that it's time to be selfish, it's time to be greedy, maybe not greedy, but again, being selfish, and taking it for yourself, taking care of yourself, understanding yourself, giving yourself the right food, the right nurturing, the more, again, having fun. Again, in the Northern Hemisphere, it's almost July. And where did this freaking year go, right? I mean, we've already had the summer solstice. So in my mind, that sun's headed back south. And it happens really fast. It happens really fast in the month of July. Where in August, it is here in like April, when it's just coming back this way. So they're not that far. We're not that far. We're 2 months, probably 10 weeks away from fall. Hope I'm not here when that happens. But if I am, okay. I don't want to be here then. But again, you have to wait for them. And being ready for that. Being ready for them to pick you up and move you, right? Pick you up out of a relationship, out of anything. Because they will. It's just right place, right time, right? And until we know our soul journey, we can't control it. Will we know soul journey soon? Probably some of us by 2030. Will we be able to do that for other people? Probably not. Just our own, because they will show us what it looks like or tell us what it is, what the next chapter is. Again, telepathically, as we connect with more and more people telepathically. Like, I know, Spirit is showing me, like, going into the grocery store, people always have looked at me. And I always thought it was a bad thing just because of, my stuff from my trauma, right? But it wasn't. It was the fact that they saw me as light. Their soul saw me as light. And that's probably happened to a lot of people, where people look at them when they walk into a store. Or they're walking by somebody and they go, oh, again, going from aisle to aisle or whatever. Now it will happen eventually. Some by 2030, right? Because we're advancing every single day in this fifth dimensional energy that we're all connected to. I mean, all connected to. That we will hear it. We'll feel it, but you'll hear it because telepathically somebody's going to say something, not knowing that you can hear them. And when they understand that you can, it's like the buddy system. Yeah, it's like, oh my God, because it's never anything bad. It's usually something like they can see your light, they can see your aura, right? There are guides you're going to tell them, oh, right there, oh, right there, oh, right there, or something like that. We don't know yet because we really haven't gotten those messages as of yet. Globally, Spirit says. That's 2.5 years away, maybe 3 years away, right? So as the messages start to come in, as we're doing our work and really paying attention to what they want from us in the times that are bad, right? In the times that feel low, that feel dark, that's the time that you do it. When the times are good, that's when you ask for what you freaking want. I mean, what do I want? I want this, I want this, I want this. Because when you're in that darker space for a short amount of time, right? You're not gonna stay in 3D for much longer than a couple of days. If you're connected enough and you've done your work to get your butt out of that, right? Because deep can go deep, especially during Mercury retrograde. I mean, somebody will hurt your feelings, you'll hurt somebody else's feelings. Everybody's gonna be angry and sporadic and no filter, and you're gonna be surprised when people are snotty, bitchy, whatever. And you're that too, without even knowing it. It just falls out of your mouth, see? Because it already feels you here. That's when you do your tapping, right? Take those, again, take those 2 fingers and that. Gotta hear it. Take that away. Say, no, I'm not doing that today. I'm not doing that today. Setting your day the way that you want it to be, okay? Not allowing the day to go like this. As soon as you feel your energy drop, that's when you tap and you talk. No, I'm not doing that today. I'm not doing that today. I'm not doing that today. Thank you for all the green lights on the way to the grocery store. Thank you for all, whatever it is. Picking up my kids from school, and it was an easy process, or us going on vacation. You know what? I was all thinking about what's going to happen when we get there, and it all went perfectly. I'm so glad. I'm so thankful, giving them those props. because they're the ones who make it so, right? They control us. We're the marionettes, let's say, right? And we have a controller that kind of makes us walk and talk and do all the things that we actually do. Free will, this much, yeah. But that's a very, very important thing to understand now with all of these placements, right? Jupiter in Leo is going to be freaking explosive. It's been in Cancer for 2.5 years. Didn't give me a whole lot because Jupiter's about expansion, right? But it was in water. Now it's in the head of fire, where decisions are made and big decisions are made. Huge decisions are made about your life. That's going to be 2.5 years. Okay? So we're talking until 2028, almost 2029, right? That's huge. Again, so set those intentions. Again, what do you want? Again, what does Jupiter and Leo mean for me as a Capricorn, Aquarius, Pisces? Capricorn Sun, Aquarius rising. And see what ChatGPT says. Yeah. It will probably blow your socks off, guys. It will probably blow your socks off because it works. It truly works. I mean, I'm blown away. I mean, I went through my thing. I went through all my stuff one night and just blah, 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 blah. I read half of it, but I'm not in a space at the moment. So it's like, okay, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow. I'm not sure. But when it happens, it's going to blow me away, right? Because that one night I was just in the space. And I take advantage of that when I'm in the space because you have to. You have to. See? Because do I stay still or do I move? Do I stay still or do I just stay in this place? Do I just do what I've got to do and keep my head down? Or do I push forward? And I was saying about this today with Spirit, about my younger years in retail, where anytime that I knew when it was time to move, okay, and I moved a lot with the companies that I worked for, and was extremely good at what I did for a living, and very dominant when it came to business and owning the business and things like that. And hey Allison, you're back. You keep going in and out. Hey Tracy Parker, what's up, girl? And I'm assuming a lot of you are, but I always knew when the next thing was coming, not because of them, because I just felt it. Okay, I'm kind of bored, and when I was kind of bored because I'd mastered everything, right? They would set me up for the next shot, or I'd quit my job, get another one in a week, right? Quit playing with my nose, Spirit. That's all tied into this energy that's here now, right? Is that there is there decisions to be made? Will there be made in 6 months? Yes. Will it 333? Will it sidetrack us? Possibly. If you let it. If you don't let it, knowing that it's Mercury retrograde, I just got to get through this next 3 weeks. I just got to get through these 2 weeks. I got to get through this last week and a half. Then you got the shadow on the other side, which is 10 days, but it wanes every day. It wanes every day. Yeah. So, Allison, that's why. Okay. Yes. Lots of change by the end of July for most people. Lots of change. Now, we also have what's going on the East Coast, which is a cluster. And that's something we have to really think about too, is the fact that how's that going to affect us in our money, in our food, in our fear, in our moving forward, and all those types of things. Because that is going to have an effect on the Mercury retrograde that is in Cancer. Its opposite side of the zodiac wheel is Capricorn, which is the government and structure and old time thinking, and everything is old when it comes to a Capricorn. Everything is, we've done it this way all the time. We're not going to change from the route. We're going to keep doing the same exact thing until we don't. Until we get cracked in the head meaning the country, and we go, okay, we have to break this system because it's corrupt. That's going to happen in 2026 I believe in the midterms, which I'm not really sure going to happen or not, because I keep getting the messages about either them being replaced by the military, like we've talked about many times before, and having a military coup, and then martial law puts in place, or it is somebody passing away, everybody being happy about it, but us not knowing the succession plan that they have put in place. It's not the vice president, it is somebody else. And he can't be anointed. He can't be, but we don't have the power and equal government to push back on that. And as we've seen, judges can do it. Supreme Court really won't do it in most cases. And so it has to be power of the people, right? And so this could be part of the what we see in the next 3.5 weeks with Mercury retrograde, is us seeing the cracks, us seeing things that we no longer go along with, right? And we just ignore. Spirit also says those messages will be internalized, that you will hear them, you will feel them, you will see something, it will pop off the page and hit you in the face. You'll embody it, but it's not an embodiment of fear. It's embodiment of action. Okay, it's an embodiment of action, which yet has not really happened. It's going to. Okay, so all of this outer planet stuff is super, super important because it's just getting started. It's just getting started to all these planets: Neptune, Pluto, Neptune, Saturn, Jupiter, Uranus, and Chiron. Okay? They're all extremely powerful planets for good and for bad. Destruction, tearing it up. And Mars is in Gemini, I think. That's the warrior planet. I mean, I think it's a Gemini. So there again, it's an air sign. It's not in Virgo. I keep thinking and then Venus is in its home sign. Yeah, too, which I believe is Cancer. I think it's Cancer. But anyway, I'm gonna have to do an astrology program about it because I find it so interesting, and that's simply because it rules your life. They rule your life too, but it really rules your life, and you can kind of do it on your own. And then by asking them questions, okay, well, Spirit or Chat GPT, okay, so Spirit, what about this? What about this? What about this? What are the chances of this happening? What are the chances of this happening? It'll tell you, which again, it's kind of blows my mind. Yeah. So as we go through the month, and I'll be here every month as many times as I can on Thursdays at 3 o'clock. If I'm in the process of moving, maybe 1 or 2 Thursdays that I don't do it, but I got to get Daisy in the state by doing her blood working test for rabies. It's a non-rabies state. So if we're in the process of moving, I've got to do that to get that into the University of Nebraska so they can test her blood to make sure that she can enter into the state. Okay? So that may be 4 weeks, 6 weeks, whatever. Normally it's usually it's in 4 weeks, but sometimes, especially now, it's taking a longer period of time. So I'll be here with you guys every Thursday, 3 o'clock. I'm thinking, until we just pick up and move, because I'm gonna give everything away. So I'm not taking anything but clothes and shoes and stuff like that, right? Because the house is already furnished. So as you go through these types of things, don't be surprised if you get triggered, right? Maybe a trigger that you thought you had healed. Happened to me this week, out of the freaking blue. I'm like, where did that, James, what the frick did that happen? And I was like, oh, no, we're not doing that shit no more. We're not doing that anymore. No, we're not doing that anymore. Not at all. We're not that person anymore. We're not doing that anymore. We need freedom. We need all that stuff. We got to heal all that stuff and not allow it to lull us back into what no longer serves us. Okay? And for me, it's 66 years of just stuff, right? And I thought this was healed. It wasn't healed. See? So I took it upon myself this week to take care of that with guided meditations, which they brought me, one from Steve Nobel and one from another thing that I wasn't even listening, I wasn't even paying attention to. It just, Steve ended, and then they started this one right after. I mean, there was no lull, there's no, and they went right into them. Like, oh, okay, this is kind of different. It's weird. Okay, well, I'm kind of feeling it though. It's kind of, oh, okay. Again, we have to do third dimensional meditations because we have third dimensional energy that is trying to escape our bodies. Okay? You can't do some high energy, 5D or higher meditation that does not serve. Hey, Vicky. No, you can't connect with that. That wound does not connect with that at all. Does not connect with that at all. See? So you have to go back to 3D meditations, which I don't have a problem with at all. It has a tendency to actually work. I mean, I'm glad that I listen, right? Because the feeling that you have is when either in this lifetime or past lives is still there. You thought you'd healed it, but something happens that triggers you, and all of a sudden you're like, okay, why do I feel the same way I did 4 years ago, 5 years ago? I thought that was healed. It wasn't healed. Well, why didn't you bring it up why did you wait to bring it up until now? The response was, because it's time. Well, what else is left? Don't worry about that. Worry about this. Okay. Right? And that's the way that we have to process it, because we don't know the script. We don't know the soul journey. We don't know the day, the time, anything like that. Somebody asked me the other day about, well, Bill, can you tell me the date that's going to happen? I'm like, no. Well, why not? Because we look at the calendar. They do not look at the calendar. They don't have, there's no time and space. They don't know what day it is. They just know that you're awake. That your energy's flowing, right? They're all into it. Hey, Susan, right? Okay, cool. Blah, 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 blah. I know. Many, many times, I will tell you this, because I just got this, and it's not the first time that I've gotten it, is the fact that they program us to have a reaction on a day that's been already planned. We just don't know what's planned. Yeah. We just don't know what's planned. And so we come into our day and we wake up and we have this energy, good or bad, and we're doing our work and we're doing our stuff and we're taking care of ourselves like we're supposed to do, right? And then all of a sudden it's a really good day and then it settles down, or it's a really good day and it stays there, or it's a really day and it rises up to being okay, right? But we can control that, right? We can control that. I believe from them many, many times is that we don't know why we feel down, but it's got something to do with them programming us for the day. It makes sense, right? Again, you have residue from the night before, but these are things that you feel like really low, like, oh my God, I just can't pull myself out of this space. Oh my God, it's horrible. I'm depressed. I'm angry. I'm emotional. And I wasn't like that yet. I haven't been like this in, gosh, probably months, maybe years. Well, you're finishing up some stuff. See? Again, if you're getting vertigo, right? You're going into 5D, baby. That is the test of 5D when you have vertigo in the morning. You're not going crazy. There's nothing wrong with your equilibrium. There's nothing in 3D, I should say. They're testing you and getting you ready for that big jump into 5D, which does not have heavy, emotional, hard energy. It's floaty and lovely and bubbles, and they have to test you for that to make sure that you're going to be okay, that if you do get equilibrium, if you do get they're talking way too freaking fast. Stop. Thank you. Yes, if your equilibrium is off, there's a reason for it. And it's not inner ears or anything like that at all. It is all about you going into higher dimensional energy, because that's where we're headed. And they have to test us, right? I mean, I live in Detroit, so we see test cars all the time that are covered in the camouflage and things, right? All these cool new cars that nobody knows about. It's pretty awesome. That's like us, where we're going to be and how we're going to be and what are we going to do, right? Again, you can't even think about that because they know the answers, you do not. And they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you when. They're not going to tell you how. You're going to meet that on that starting line, let's say. I guess they're going to run a race. You know, and you can start out slow, you can start out fast, whatever you want to do. They're going to keep your pace. Okay? If you feel like you got to run, then it's coming quick. If you're feeling like you got to be the tortoise and it doesn't really matter, I'm just going to walk it, cool. It's going to take a longer period of time. But Spirit says, but you can't run in the middle of it. You go, okay, I'm going to make it faster. No, you can't make it faster. It doesn't work like that. There is no time in Spirit. And that person was just upset with me. I'm like, there isn't any time. You know, all they know is they know when and where it's going to happen. And that's when it happens. Hey, Amanda. Yeah, that's when it happens, right? I mean, all of us have had magic happen to us, right? I mean, yeah, we all have. I mean, I call it that, but when amazing things happen to you and you don't know why, it's because it's magic. Now, you're not supposed to know why. Yeah. Marcia says, I've had a few severe vertigo at a few times. Tuesday was very disconcerting. Yeah, yep. Again, sweetie, you're touching 5D. Yeah, you're touching 5D. And that's exactly what it is. And then it usually goes away by like after 1 or 2 or 3 hours. You know, it doesn't stay all day long. It just kind of like, it kind of wanes. Yeah. See? And that's all going to be really intense in the month of July. Because it is truly, hey Dorothy, how's it going? It is truly it's going to be a magnificently magic month with all these planets doing what they do and tearing stuff up and spitting it out, right? The biggest ones of all that are good, Jupiter and Leo. Jupiter and Leo is going to be transformational for people. Yeah, because Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. It's massively huge. And it's all about positivity. It's all about giving you what you want. It's all about expansion and expansion and expansion and expansion. And it is in fire. What does fire do? Blows it up. Blows it up. I'm looking forward to July, even with the Mercury retrograde, which might be a pain in my butt, right? Who knows? I'm not going to let it affect me. I'm not going to, and you'll hear me say, guys, if you're either on the program or around me at all, or I'm doing a little whatever, yeah, it's Mercury retrograde. It's Mercury retrograde. I can't do anything about that. It's Mercury retrograde. You know, and some people will be like, oh my gosh, Bill, what is that? You know, come on. No, trust me. I know what Mercury retrograde does to your freaking life. Hey, Leanne, trust me. As a Capricorn, I know what it means. I've been following it since I was a kid, teenager. You know, why did everything turn this way all of a sudden? Mercury retrograde. Why is my mouth getting me in trouble? Mercury retrograde. Oh, bad mouth. Whew, bad mouth. You know, and it just happens. And when it comes out of your mouth, you usually will feel bad, like, oop, I didn't mean to say that to the clerk, you know, or whatever. It just comes out of your mouth because you're not even aware that it's inside your body, but they're aware that it's in your body. And that's how do I deal with this with myself after I said something derogatory to the clerk or the cashier or whatever, you know, how bad do you punish yourself? Do you punish yourself or not? That's what that stuff is for. See? Right ear's ringing big time, Spirit. What's that about? Yeah. See? It's not a test at all. It is just all about how am I going to beat myself up for that? Or, which a lot of people do, ego, right? How dare you be so mean? How dare you, blah, blah, blah. I heard that my entire lifetime, right? Just the way that I was. I was snotty and kind of bitchy, right? That's just me. Even that, I can still be that way now. Can be an SOB, but not often anymore. Only when people push the right button. It's not, do not push those buttons. Yeah. And we all have that, right? We all have that space that we're like, no, you can't do that. We just have to communicate it better. If it's to our husband, our boyfriend, our girlfriend, our wife, our children, right? Sisters, brothers, all those types of things. You know, communication is everything. And it's going to be really messed up for the next 3.5 weeks. Big time, big time, big time. You know, as an Aquarius rising with Pluto, it is a good retrograde. It ends in a couple weeks finally, after 4 months or 5 months, but it's going to take until the end of the year to get back to where it was before the retrograde. That's one of the things that retrogrades that are really long are really hard, because you're going over all the things that you did in the last 4 or 5 months that didn't work out, that you were waiting for, that you were trying to work towards. And now you'll feel the same way again, or you'll be depressed about it. Like, okay, I've already done this. I don't understand why I'm going over it again, because now that planet is moving forward. Over the ground, it went retrograde over, right? Yeah. It's funny because it's kind of like mowing the lawn. It grows long, and you cut it. And then you go backwards and you cut it again. Then you stop and go frontwards again. You go, okay, I just mowed that 3 times. And how does that patch of ground look? Not very good. Or really didn't do a whole lot, or whatever. See? That's what retrogrades are. That's what retrogrades are, for sure. So it's all about us making sure that we are conscious, number one, that you're paying attention. You're paying attention to how you feel, what it is that you feel. Why do they tweak? I know, it's crazy. And how other people feel. Not that you have to really think about or worry about that, but if you're married, you kind of have to. You got kids, you kind of have to, because you're affecting them. And they're looking at you as their spiritual person, or grandma as their spiritual person, or whoever it might be, who's really nice and really sweet. Again, you can still be mom and dad and teach your children how to be grown up and adult without being harsh, and apologizing to them. That's the one thing that I will tell you guys is the biggest thing you can do for a child is to apologize to them for your tone of voice, for the way that you said it, for what you said. My mother was sarcastic, and she could bark, you know, and of course she would never apologize, because that's her right not to have to apologize, you know. I'm your mother. I'm your mother. I know. You've told me that enough times. I know. Hey, Lori, how's it going? And for us, it's just about making sure that in this lifetime, this portion of our life that's now, that if you have to say you're sorry to your child because you spoke wrong, or even teachers, even bosses, I mean, again, people everywhere, we have to learn how to apologize more, because we did misspeak, especially during Mercury retrograde. We did say or do the wrong thing, you know, because we weren't paying attention, we weren't conscious. And that's what's so very important. That's probably the last piece of today's message, is that when I started to apologize to my staff in my stores for being a volcano sometimes, you know, and they would say, Bill, go get ice cream, you'll be happier. Bill, go get ice cream, you'll be happier. So I'm not having a positive day. My store's not having a positive day. We always had large amount of money to do on those days. And when I was frustrated because it wasn't really happening, not realizing that it was my energy, guys. Most of the time, my energy was really, really good and really positive, and they all knew it. The store was amazing. Every store I ran was amazing. But when I got into that funk, I did not realize in that third dimensional space that I needed to change my dynamic in my energy, because the store ran on it. And my staff knew enough to go to McDonald's. We had an amazing McDonald's in the last mall I worked in. It was right outside the home office in outside Chicago. And it was amazing ice cream, McDonald's ice cream store, right? Restaurant. And it was amazing. Bill, go get ice cream. Go get ice cream, Bill. Go get ice cream. You'll feel better. I get the ice cream, go back in the back, sit, eat it, come out a brand new person. Either my sugar was low or whatever, but it changed the energy in my body. See? there's always ways for us to fix ourselves, right? It's just knowing that we're not doing it the right way, that we need to change that energy, that we need to change the way that we speak, that we need to change how we do it, see? And for children and for family, I'm telling you what, you will be a god if you're able to tell your children, I apologize. I'm sorry I said it like that. And do it on their level, right? A lot of people are understanding it now more than they do, than the traditionalists do, which is bark at your kids. And, well, I went through that too. And how do you feel? Yeah. I feel fine. I made it. Yeah, but you struggled the whole time. Why would you want to do that to your child? Why would you want them to go through what you went through? Well, my father, okay. Learn that lesson. Yeah. I was talking to somebody again today about that exact same thing. Is that when that baby's born, you got to make sure that your partner is nice and has different energy, because he's an Aquarian hothead, right? Which I've never heard of one before, but he is. Don't know what his rising sign is. It's like, dude, no, you got to set the pace, mama. You got to set the pace to. You have to set the pace and what the expectation is, because when the baby's born and it's 6 months old, it's a sponge, and it's going to act the way that it from the energy that it absorbed when it couldn't speak, when it couldn't walk, when it couldn't do anything but lay in a bassinet or lay in a crib, lay on the couch in their swingy, right, or lay in their swingy, right? And they're just absorbing everything that's going on. And in the background, mom and dad are fighting. No. No. You can't do that. My parents never argued in front of us in my entire lifetime of living in our house growing up. Never got heated. Never. Because my mom had a mom and dad like that. They were not quiet, and so my mom was not going to do it because of what had happened with her, see, and her sisters. So that's a good trait, is to don't put the same thing on your kids that you put on you, and learn how to say you're sorry to yourself. First off, you've got to freaking forgive yourself for shit that you did when you were a kid. I mean, I'm surprised I'm still alive because all crazy stuff I did as a kid, and I forgave myself, and I still continue to forgive myself, because sometimes it wasn't, hang on. And I know, Spirit, as we go through this evolution, right, there's always going to be things that you thought were taken care of that are not taken care of, and that's forgiving yourself on a certain level, okay? The higher your dimensional energy, there's things you're going to have to apologize for again to yourself. Bill, I'm really sorry that happened. I was a kid. I was a teenager. I was in my 20s. I was in my 30s. I was in my 40s. I was in my 50s. Yeah, and things I got hurt about, right? Again, emotionally, because it's just the way that my soul journey was, and all of us have that. It's just forgiving ourselves for that time that we beat ourselves up, that we thought it was something wrong with us, when it was actually something about the collective that was wrong. You didn't fit in the energy. You didn't fit in that space anymore. You didn't know it, and you didn't do anything about it. I mean, I'm talking about like jobs, boyfriends, girlfriends, friends, all kinds of things, And when you forgive yourself for those types of things, you get healed. When you go into higher dimensional energy, sometimes it just comes back and just kind of like gnaws at you a little bit, like it happened to me this week. Like, I'm no longer going to be that person. Absolutely not. I'm not going to be that person who's going to allow that to happen to me. I'm not doing it. No, no. It's on my terms and no one else's. And that's very, very hard when it comes to certain things that you're not used to doing. Making yourself first, right? Making yourself first. I got that from my daddy. Yeah. And I'm thankful I got it from my dad, because my mother didn't have that. And so I'm glad that I got it. But for all of us, it's about us trying to understand why you feel the way that you feel when it's something that is that your heart is hurtful about. Your solar plexus is on fire, right? It's got too much energy in there, and it's just swirling and swirling and swirling and swirling. Yeah, see? Sherry says, Jupiter in Leo will expand your ability to put yourself first. There you go. There you go. Because that's what it's about, guys. You're the most important person in your life. Then your children, then your spouse. If you're a female, definitely. If you're going to run the world eventually, thank God, it's going to happen. It should have happened a long time ago, but it wasn't the way that it was supposed to be, right? But when it happens, that's what's so important. Making sure that you're the number one person in your life. I know I did. I thought it was good, but this week I learned that I'm at 100%. And as a Capricorn Aquarian, I need to be 100% because I don't want any surprises. I want it to be, this is the way it's going to happen, and you're going to treat me like this. Again, putting those boundaries up and making those course corrections and doing what you need to do to be happy, to not allow, because you don't need certain people in your life. And when that happens, you have to be good with, okay, our time with that person is done. Done too. And for me, as I move away 4,000 miles, right, it's going to be easier, I believe, because I moved around a lot in my lifetime. Far away from Metro Detroit, where I didn't see my friends and things like that. But our friend group was so much tighter then because we were younger, right? Again, I've had friends who have passed away, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of wild because they're my age and they're passing away already. Wow, yeah. And we have that, right? But understanding for everybody that healing yourself is the number one thing. And this Mercury retrograde is going to inhibit that because it's in Cancer, which is love, right? So it's going to pull those love strings out. It's going to put constrictions on your heart. It's going to make you feel kind of like, oh, God, why do I feel like this? Oh, God, I hate love. Oh, my God, I hate relationships. I hate it all. No, you don't. That's your ego talking, right? To try to keep you in that cesspool of emotions. Instead of going, okay, what is this about, Spirit? I need you to help me with this. I'm going to do a meditation, and I'm going to see if I can. So you got to bring me one, right? Go on your YouTube, go to your page, blah, 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 blah. All of a sudden, bang, it pops you in the face. Yeah. So anyway, guys, it is 4 o'clock, 4:02. Okay, two things. Readings are still on sale, billhobart.com. I'm going to do 10% off every membership, okay, through this month. So if you want to join us, billhobart.com, okay? Anybody who's watching this who already has a membership, if it is going to be, if it's going to end in June, July, or August, you can sign up now, kind of like a car lease kind of thing, right? Like a leap ahead, whatever it's called, pull ahead. You do that, 10% off, okay? Hi, Ivory. What's up, girl? Yeah, so that's on billhobart.com. Going to do that for the rest of June, okay? It's a good time to come in because you can save yourself 10% on whatever package you want, okay? It'll buy you more than a coffee, let's just say. Well, I don't know. Wow, now maybe not even buy you dinner, the way prices are and things like that. But yeah, both those things going forward, especially memberships, they'll always be around. Readings will not be. Okay, I will tell you that if you're interested in readings, get them now, buy them now, and you can book them later. But I know once that I move, personal readings are probably going to drop. Probably are going to drop. Just because I don't do many now, and I do people that I've done before. If new people want to come in and have readings, they need to be of a certain energy level so that I don't have to bring myself all the way down to 3D because I can't do it. I can't talk about the stuff I used to talk about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. So yeah. Yeah. So billhobart.com for all that kind of stuff. And if you guys would, I'm going to post this on YouTube right now. If you could go over to YouTube and like, if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And leave a comment, 7 or 8 or 9 digits, whatever, across the board. Emojis, I don't care. Hi, Bill, or just Bill. And if you can do that for me, like the video, like the other videos if you want to, please. Subscribe. Yeah, that's about it. Show me some love, guys. Show me some love. I'd appreciate that. So I guess I'll see everybody next Thursday at 3 o'clock. Coach for the Soul. Got any questions, guys? Let me know. You know where to find me. See ya.